This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, talk about LBJ 23. I know cats be getting hot, man, when I be talking about LeBron James, man, but that's what I do. I gotta ether and murk cats out here in these NBA streets. You gotta ether and murk them. This dude, man, he's a Rudy Poo and a plum brain at the highest levels. All this guy wants to do is create a narrative to make himself seem like he's more than what he really is. Everyone that has the real NBA eye test knows this guy is not on the levels. I like a comment that one of these folks had made, and I'm gonna start using it. The dude is a class A narcissist. I'm gonna say that again. He's a class A narcissist. Each and everything in the narrative has to be about him. There's just no two ways around that. It's sad, but you know, there's always victims that fall privy to this dude's nonsense, and it happens each and every single time. It's just ridiculous, man, what we got to deal with, what we got to put ourselves through each and every single time dealing with this fool, the la fool, the la nonsense, the la foolery. The man's not making the playoffs, and people need to wake up. The way he walked away in those last seconds, that reminded me of the LaQuit show in 2010 against the Boston Celtics, man. This man stayed doing stuff like this. Or every time he lost the finals, his lack of sportsmanship, not shaking people's hands and just walking straight into the tunnels. He's notorious for stuff like this, folks. Y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee. This guy's a la fraud. He's a la farce. And you know me, I keep the foot on the what? On the necks. I keep the foot on the what? On the la necks of the la farce that is la not chosen. Because I have to expose it. And I have to put him down to the truest and properest levels this dude belongs on. The man ain't Kobe, though. He don't have that heart. He doesn't have the assassin's mentality. He doesn't understand that. This is what people need to understand. He ain't MJ. He doesn't have that mentality. That's why I like the Rob Barkers of the worlds, the Skip Baylesses of the worlds, the Doug Gottliebs of the worlds, because they're one of the very few folks out here in these media zealots industry that's exposing this trash for who he truly is, man. And they get vilified because they tell the truth. I'm telling you, man, the truth is something that is cutthroat. It's cold-hearted. It's unadulterated. It hurts. It even hurts when I get it myself. But you know what I like about the truth? It sets a motherfucker free, man. It sets you free. It takes all that stress off of you. LeBron James has a bunch of handlers in his corner that are yes men and yes women. They tell him whatever the fuck he want to hear. He don't got nobody telling him the truth. Because if he had somebody like me in his corner, he'd be coming correct. Trust and believe that. His ass would be coming correct. Before he would have fired my ass, I'd have had his ass straight. Because I'd have told him everything. Everything that he needed to hear. Not what he wanted to hear, but what he needed to hear. That's what he needs. Someone to tell him what he needs to hear and not what he wants to hear. Because then it'll sink in. That there's just a lot of issues, glaring deficiencies associated with him. He's a prima donna, man. The man is allergic to the truth. He doesn't want to hear that stuff. This is why when he was right there, you had Maverick Carter, you had Randy Mims, and you had Rich Paul. You could tell all of them are just fucking yes men, man. When he sat there and he uttered out of his mouth, and he got slide to the mouth, oh, yo, when I beat that 73-9 team, that's when I was the greatest. Go look at their faces, man. Even they didn't even believe that shit. But they couldn't say nothing because guess what? He's the bank. He's their paycheck. And if they would go against that, they'd be fucked. He's the one that financed them to go to school and to become the people that they are, and put them in the positions that he put them in because of him playing basketball. We're not dumb, man. We don't got blinders over our eyes. We're deep thinkers out here. We see the common sense for what it truly and properly is. You think those guys was talk against him? And I told y'all, Draymond Green got something wrong with him. Gonna want to sign with Rich Paul. You do that shit, man, get your fucking ass off the Golden State Warriors. I'm gonna say that again. You do that shit, get your ass off the Golden State Warriors. Because then now you're gonna become a bamboozled, a brain full of mush, and a brainwashed LBJ apologist and LBJ stance. You'll start defending this dude. How you go from being one of his rivals, calling him the B word, to then now you want to be in his LRMR, whatever the fart that name is, front of an agency. That's not even a real agency. It's a colluding agency that likes to do stuff backhanded through schemes and plots. They're not real, man. And you guys are starting to see LeBron James' game is losing steps. He's starting to get over the hill. Shout outs to Carcino for life for saying old man Braun. He is old man Braun. Blames James, because that's what he does. He likes to blame motherfuckers. And a special shout outs to Ticket TV, man. He's the only other person I see. I'm telling y'all, man. He's the only other person I see that's as ruthless as me out here in these YouTube streets. He's been doing it longer. So I got to give special hats off to that dude. He's the only cat that comes as hard as I do against La Trash and puts his ass down to the truest and most properest levels his ass belongs on. The man ain't Kobe, dog. The man ain't MJ. And folks need to wake up and understand that. Stop hiding behind these La Stats nonsense. It's about the NBA eye test. It's the intangibles. It's what you see. Does that man have that DNA in him? Does he have that stock, that killer stock? Is he cold-hearted? You know, does he want to rip his opponent's hearts out? You don't see that in him, man. This is not a chemical lab. We can't manufacture and engineer that kind of stuff. It's either you have it or you don't. I'm going to say that again. It's either you have it or you don't. And it's my job. And I also see now it's Ticket TV's job for us to continue to expose this dude and put him down to the levels that his ass belongs on. And I'll continue to do it. And as relentless as I've seen this brother is, he's going to continue to do it too. I like that I finally found someone that's just like me, that's just as cutthroat, good, just as unadulterated, and just as heartless as I am in doing that. And shout outs to Luis Velez. He does it too, but he does it in stealth mode. He does it in more of an educational fashion and more of a, Shakespeare type. That ain't me, man. I ain't Shakespeare with this shit. I don't have all of that dissertation style that he has. Me, I'm just ready to just give it to you gutter, raw, and ugly, and put the foot on your neck style. That's my style. And I appreciate his style because his style teaches you something. My style teaches you too, but my style puts the emphasis on shit because I'm sick and tired of this motherfucker. And y'all need folks like me out here to be that breath of fresh air so that I can keep exposing that nonsense. This era needs to be done. Y'all comment below and let me know how many of y'all agree that this era needs to be fucking done so we can get back to the normal schedule business of basketball. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.